Welcome into the Command Center podcast. I'm Logan Paulson here with Fred Smoot and Santana Moss. And guys, we got a great show for you today, right? First off, let's start first things first.
Yeah.
Our guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Santana Moss, up for an Emmy for Players Club, the B-Rob episode.
Oh, man.
That's pretty exciting, man.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's dope.
We probably won't win, but, it's good to be up for one. It's my second time being up for one.
I would
really?
show a couple of times. I should get a credit. I'm just saying, dogs.
Yeah, we'll give you 2%.
That must have been a pretty cool episode, though, to get you up for an Emmy.
Yeah, and then you got to think about it. It's just not me on the show. You got the great London Fletcher on the show.
right.
You know, he's the guy hosting the thing. So, no, but don't get me wrong. It's a privilege to be, I guess you can say, for someone to say, hey, that show is good enough to be up for one. And like I said, this is my second time. I had my own show with NBC called Route 89.
Yeah.
I think I had, if it was Ovi or the pitcher from the
Strasburg.
Nets. No, the other one. What's his name? Was Schwarzer?
Strasburg.
No, not Schwarzenberg. He had the...
Scherzer.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you
Just
go.
the guy,
Just the guy.
There you go, Jay.
One for the Jags in the house.
All the CTO over here is having a hard time. Here we go.
At the same time. So that's the second time, and like I said before, just being up for one, I appreciate it.
Special.
I think we might get put up for one day for our Tress Way show we did when he said that he gonna get his number.
That would
that might get us one.
Yeah, that might make us win it. Tress would have brought that home for us.
Oh, listen, I went home and cried myself like I had just got my number took. Tress really touched me.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that episode, it was on the last episode of Command Center, so make sure you check that out. And then, Tana, you've got the shirt on. Let's show that shirt off real quick.
Yeah.
So,
sure I do.
Last episode, we talked about ThatHawkOutside at gmail.com. I was instructed to say it very clearly this time because people don't understand it. ThatHawkOutside at gmail.com. And if you still don't understand me, it's in the description link. Yeah. And so basically, we're going to randomly select 20 winners for a free shirt, and 5 random lucky winners will get a shirt signed by all of us.
Yeah.
Now, I probably devalue that shirt, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then enter now with your email. Enter now, email, and include your size and shipping address and name, right?
Yeah.
We're not doing multiple things here, right? Just the guy Jason and intern Caroline have to go through all those emails. So let's make it easy for them. And just to be clear, it's not that shirt.
Yeah.
Right, Jason?
This one.
We got another shirt.
That says That Hawk Outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's the one you'll be getting.
Yeah.
So, we good? Jason, you got something?
This one's pretty neat, though.
Yeah,
I like that shirt a lot, actually.
Yeah, that's a really good shirt. We'll give those away at live events.
You see how I
just give
cover
them away.
Fred face up a little. Hold on.
So if you come out to
energy.
training camp, we'll have some of those shirts that Tana has. But yeah, the one for us is going to be like the gold.
Oh, okay.
Like what the same gold you have that's bordering you right now. Yeah. He'll say that Hawk Outside, and he'll have the floating heads there of you guys on.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we'll look at. And so it's soft. They just sent us some sample materials today.
Oh, yeah? It's gonna
you
be
guys
nice.
can ask Ryan
So would it be like a dry fit material, or is it going to be?
I think more like
So
dry
that
fit,
Hawk outside is soft.
Yeah.
That's what you
It's a soft hawk.
Oh, it's a soft hawk. I can do it, man. That hawk, long that hawk's off, I'm fine with it.
And so obviously that's where we're giving away merch.
Yeah.
But also, please leave show ideas. And we have a segment at the end of the day that someone left an email. We're going to talk about his show idea, and we need more ideas. We're in a time of year. What's it called, Fred?
The mailman.
The mailman.
Now, you remember when people used to deliver milk to your front door? I guess you don't.
I don't. Did that happen for you? You're not that old, are you?
At the cusp.
Well, he was in Mississippi too.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
was at
pretty
the
sure.
cusp. So they were dropping off a whole cow in your front yard, so they don't have to come back.
They were still living like the 30s over there in Mississippi.
So yeah, the milkman and the mailman. You had a relationship with these people. So guess what? We calling that thing the mailman because we going to deliver.
We're going to deliver.
I hate to say it, my first time ever in Mississippi, it was the year after the Katrina.
All right.
Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine, James Crawford, he's big in the real estate game, and he know I was trying to get into it. So he's like, Tanner, come take a trip with me to New Orleans. I want to show you some of this new properties that I'm, looking to try to purchase or whatever. We in New Orleans, seeing all this stuff. It was a disaster, man.
Yeah.
He's from Mississippi. He drives over to Mississippi. It's hot. He said, let's go get some ice cream.
Oh, I heard this story.
And he say, and so, we pull up. I'm from Miami.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to the window than go inside because it's easier.
Yeah.
He say, nah, Tan, I'm going inside this time. I'm like, we can go to the windows. And we go inside, and I didn't know why he was urgent about going inside or so eager to go inside. Come out, he say, bro, they just allowed us to eat inside. Us. As
what?
as in African Americans.
What year was this? Is after Katrina.
This is 2006.
I just was born.
So I had to bring it up because it was. I had to bring it up because it's Mississippi, and I'm like,
it's a little backwards.
I'm like, damn, Fred, like this how y'all lived over
Not
here?
in the capital city in Jackson. He from Crawford is from the country.
Okay.
All right, where rules can be big. Right? I'm from Jackson.
It blew my mind because I grew up in Miami, so I never heard none of that. I hear the stories. I was like, wow.
Wow.
So he was like, it's a must I go inside.
That's not how Jackson is?
No, Jackson ain't like that. And
It's
people
like-
try to, you know what?
It's the New York of the
I've always
South.
been here, and then people like, yeah, where you from? And time I say Mississippi, everybody face just smooch like some stank off. like Mississippi, like we ain't got nothing to offer.
After that story, my face is a little bit like,
we know
I don't know.
we know this as Americans. It's everywhere. It ain't just there.
Yeah.
All right, let's be honest.
That's just the heart of it.
But it seems like it happens there a lot.
It's some good people in Mississippi.
Absolutely.
I will say that. I will back that up.
And no one's saying it's something bad or cruel people. We're just saying just crazy that those times were still existing at that time.
When I say Mississippi to people, some stink like somebody farted or something. I'm like, no, man, it ain't like that. You say California, people like, yeah, by golly, I want to go to California.
No, I mean, that's starting to change a little bit now, too. But that's a conversation for a different show.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, so we got a whole bunch of people around the building. Today's the first day of OTAs.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that in a second. But there was a man here, Fred, who recognized you.
Yeah, he was a scout from the Cincinnati Bengals when me and Tanner came out in the draft.
And so, Fred, we've had a lot of contentious conversations, Tanner.
I
wish I was a fly on the wall out there.
Yeah, it was so funny. So Fred's like, dude, the scout that was at my pro days out there, he remembers that I ran a 4.3. And I was like, I don't know, man. He's like an older guy. He's been 1,000 pro days.
I've been saying he look like he's about 80.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
But he's been to 1,000 pro days. Like, no way he remembers yours. He's like, oh, no. He's like, he remembered my bench press story, which is a great story, by the way.
Yeah.
And so we walk out there. Fred introduces me. The guy doesn't know who I am. And he says, oh, Fred's so great. I love Fred. Everybody says that because Fred's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I say, sir, do you remember what he ran at this pro day? Do you remember the 40 time?
His face just started glowing. Like Logan's face just started glowing.
Because Fred is a big advocate, Tana, as you know, that he ran a fast time like you did.
Pair of lips will
tell a lie.
Tell lies.
And so we did some research. We asked multiple scouting departments around the NFL. They said a 4.47, right? Was that the time?
And that was wrong.
Okay.
4.48 is what it says online. But it has been contradicted.
Yeah, and again, at
4.47s, 4.46.
Round to the nearest 10.
At the pro day, the stopwatch. Everyone's got a different stopwatch. So some people probably had them a 4.42.
But it's in that general area.
And so the guy goes, you know what? I don't really remember, but I think it was a 4.5, and I almost.
Oh, he almost.
You were literally. You got on the. You probably fell on the floor. Like
I know. He pulled a piccolo out of his pocket and started playing. I'm like, what is this? Like Logan just erupted right there. I was like, no, it wasn't a 4.5, sir.
Yeah.
Good sir. Yeah, sir. It was a 4.4. He's like, I'll give you a 4.4. I don't really remember, but I just was dying laughing.
No, but I was shocked he remembered the Ron Zook story. Coach Zook, when he told it, like he like.
Oh yeah. You remember the name, yeah. So maybe his memory is better than we thought. Maybe it was a 4.5.
No, he's lying. Coach Zook, he was like, yeah. Coach Zook told Fred that one bench press might hurt you.
Oh yeah.
And when Zook told me, I was like, hey, you either gonna play with me or against me. That's where I was.
Dude, the courage it must have taken to say that. I mean, you just say all sorts of crazy stuff, but like I would have been like, oh gosh, I should try it again.
That's him though.
I know.
That guy was uncut and raw.
If you don't believe in yourself, y'all can't expect for no other coach to believe in me.
I mean, you have plenty of belief. You have you radiate belief.
That's what you got to do in this world that we only here for a spec.
I know. Be confident in yourself.
Be a star. Be fire.
Think you can beat me in basketball? Think you can kick field goals?
Oh, I can beat you in basketball now. I'm in better shape. Look at me, abbed up.
Bro, you just told me.
My name is Abraham Lincoln. You couldn't play with me right now. I've been riding bikes. I've been training like Rocky.
So I ain't seen that boy bike yet.
So we're good friends. We're all hanging out.
Bikers don't show they bike.
So Fred and I were walking out to get lunch together, and he's got a little limp to him. I said, Fred, what happened to you? He said, oh, I slept weird.
No, I woke up this morning, got out the bed, almost fell. I like, man, you know what? You know you old. When you don't have to do nothing.
So even though you're abbed up, man, I don't know, man.
Man, you know what? 45 is 45. That's what I'm going to say.
And you look great, though. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing you just said to me.
I got to be nice to you every once in a while because the fans will just come from my head.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about stuff that people really care about. So we did what do they call that? A live stream, Jason? A live stream of practice? So we did a live stream of rookie minicamp practice. Was not included in 7-on-7, but we get to stay out there and watch. And so basically I wanted to review rookie minicamp and then also our first day of OTA practice, which we got to be out there for and review. So let's start with rookie minicamp. And I think the first thing that everyone's been talking about is the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on it because like when we were on air, you can see this live. Go back and watch the thing. Their reactions to it, I'm talking Fred and Santana, they were like, when they did this energy drill, this bag drill, this compete drill, you guys, I was like,
I was shook.
But Fred looked like he wanted to go practice.
No, I wanted to. I was like, it put belief in me. You can still do this.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much fire. You got to realize this universe is created with energy. The sun radiates energy. Like, we all attracted to energy. And what I felt out there was a nova, a supernova of energy. All right, your daddy, he's the space guy.
He's stoked on that.
Yeah, no.
Supernovas.
I did that for Mr. Paulson because I'm going to tell you why I love Mr. Paulson. Because he let me know that Logan is the dumbest Paulson. So I really love that everybody in his family is like scientists and everything. Then Logan just stands up, hey, I play football.
Oh,
they
God.
like, get him out of here. Go sit him at the little table. What you gotta do? Like, I can see your daddy standing up at the family reunion like, yeah, I love all my kids. I'm ashamed of this one, but he's an athlete. He chose that route. So
He's a jock.
He's a jock.
Yeah, so Tanner, what'd you think?
I loved it. I was shocked because I just wasn't expecting it,
Yeah.
But when you look back at, some of the things that's glaring about, Dan and his defense is just it proves that point. Like, this is the kind of energy that he brings into, those groups, and now he's the head coach, and that's what he wants to see from everybody. So, the last time I saw that was when I remember when RG3 got here, we went to Baylor and worked out with him.
Yeah.
And I remember how they opened up the shed and everybody ran in there. And I was like, removed from college football for how long now? That was probably like 12 years removed.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I wasn't ready for this. And I see that, and then you got to think about it. This game has gotten younger.
Yeah.
It's not
Coaches
a lot of
younger.
It's not a lot of old heads here no more. So they getting those same guys that was, I guess you can say that some of at the top of their game in college, they're now the guys that you depending on to be at the top of their game here in the league, and they giving them some of the same stuff that they pretty much brought them up in. Yeah. Like, we didn't do that at the University of Miami, but I saw a lot of other college, good college teams did it. So it's great to see it. And like I said, if they're going to kind of bring that kind of intensity every week, the start of the practice, I can just imagine how they're going to play,
Yeah, I think sometimes it's helpful because we did a similar drill when I was in Atlanta, and then there's been other places like in college and stuff where you do it. It kind of gets you like lathered, gets you like ready.
Especially when guys don't feel like, it's easy for the first day.
Yeah.
But when we 40 days in, everybody don't feel like practicing. I'm glad I was one of them people. I love practice. I come out there yelling, hollering. Yeah. I ain't even scratch while everybody was scratching. I used to go around and talk to players like Coach Gibb. No, I did. Listen, all I know when I'm watching Animal Planet, that cheetah don't scratch when it hunt. Right? That cheetah see the rabbit, go get rabbit.
I had no idea where you were going with that.
All I'm saying is that's where I was. So I was just I can say this. That's why I have no regrets. I enjoyed every day playing in this game. And practice was just important to me as a game. I call practice a game with no crowd. Other than that, I had the same amount of fun. I brought the same amount of energy. And Greg used to start our practices off like that.
Yeah. So, I know it's a tradition. Like I know this might seem novel, but there are a lot of coaches that I've played with that like that's a thing they do. Yeah. Just to kind of get you going.
Something else I was going to add to it, just you have guys that kind of go get picked up as the practice go on. Like, they come out there a little like, I'm trying to get myself warmed up. Yeah. Now, if I'm already to the understanding of like, this is what we got to do. Yeah. I'm going to get out there a little earlier. I was one of those guys, I wouldn't practice before practice started. I'm going to get
when you saw the defense.
I'm going to get my hurdles in. I'm going to do all my stretches and stuff. So when they say they blow that whistle, I'm ready to go. So now you see that being displayed. Those guys who come out there and say they allow practice to get them going, they're going to come out there with that mentality like, hey, I got to get going before practice starts because they're going to expect me to run through these bags like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, let's talk about the rookie practice first. Yeah. Anybody or anything that stuck out to you kind of besides the energy? Like, let's talk players here mostly.
I'm going to say McGee.
Talk about him.
Just looking at the dude, I mean, I ain't talking about no plays. Yeah. the dude body. Like,
Somebody getting off the bus.
No diddy, but his body, bro, alone, like he just put together in a certain way. And it's just not even that, bro. You know, we talked so much about these linebackers coming into this,
we haven't talked about him.
And haven't mentioned him. And he's one of the guys that's going to be behind one of the guys. Bobby Yellow Jacket, right? You call him?
Yeah.
So just imagine, bro. I mean, like to me, that's a major plus just seeing those guys, how quickly we transform that core. That group of men has now been the thing that we talked about the most. We've been talking the last 4 or 5 years that when we going to get some linebackers in here. And not to say that Jamin hasn't been doing his thing for at least 3 of those years, because I think he's about, this is 3rd year?
Yeah, this is
fourth. So this is 4th year? Yep. So at least 3 of those years. But just to see the added guys, and then you have a young guy like that that's just, man, he put together, and then now you see today he running all over the field.
Yeah.
I'm just excited, man, to see what he going to bring.
Yeah, he moves well, man. He moves really well.
I think Ben Sinnott does it for me.
Yeah.
I knew he was a size guy. I knew he was I could play multiple positions guy. But to see him run, like sometimes watching you run in college is different than watching you run on the field with other pros. So watching him run on the field today really made me feel good. Like I already felt good about him. It made me feel better about him, especially seeing him right next to Ertz.
Yeah,
Ertz is the aging guy that shocked me today that he's still running like he running.
He ran a great route today.
Yeah, he ran great routes today. So seeing him beside him and seeing him, you know, when I'm looking at Ben Sinnott, I'm knowing I'm looking at the rough draft.
Yeah.
And I know I'm looking at the finished product of Zach Ertz, but knowing where this guy finna start at, I think he can be that level of guy, if you know, with a lot of detail.
No, absolutely. And a guy for me is Dominic Hampton, kind of that dime nickel player. Yeah, because again, like he just fits this kind of
big body,
long arms, runs well,
athletic.
And again, like that kind of dime linebacker spot that they use all the time in Dallas. Like it just feels like he's ready made for that.
Yeah.
So I think that's someone to keep an eye on. But I think the guy that kind of stood out to me or was maybe the most impressive was Jayden Daniels.
No question.
And that's how
I didn't even want to mention him because that's the obvious. But
But he's the guy that really stuck out. And like, just what stuck out about him, and you know, anything like your first impression.
Man, look, I'm a guy. I'm a receiver. I'm watching quarterbacks. I'm watching everything that it is, from the wind up to the feet work, to to his footwork, to how he's deciphered things. How quick. And the thing that stood out the most is just the effortless ball, like snapping. It's just snapping out of his hand. It's just snapping. And like you don't see a wind up. You barely see it.
Yeah.
The ball is coming at you, And I watched a couple of those first 3-4 plays when I think he threw to McCaffrey 3 out of those 4 times.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was dying. I mean, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like they was going that far, but it was just on the money.
Yeah.
It was right here in that where I want to see the ball at. I want it right here. I don't want it too high. I don't want it too far behind me.
Yeah.
And McCaffrey, strong hands, just snatching it. I mean, that's something, it's early. So, of course, he's probably not, tired. Is fresh, what I mean? But it's so much to be on you, and it's not like things out there going fast for him. And like I said, it's early. It's minicamp. He seemed like a guy that's reserved. He seemed like a guy that, from watching him,
too high,
watching his interviews, he says the right things. He's not letting you trap him. I saw Keyshawn Johnson try to trap him a couple of times.
6 or 7 people done tried to trap him already.
So what Keyshawn say?
Oh man, he
just asking them questions that you can't really answer without starting something.
Yeah.
You know how?
Oh, for real?
If I ask you a question like, you know what, Logan? I know you and Cooley was teammates, but did you really like him? Now,
trap
you can
question.
say that's a trap question. I like him, but if I say anything else, if you finna start a grace fire.
Yeah.
So he's been trapped like that a couple of times. I think what really does it for me with him, control of these mini huddles they done had. I like to see a presence in that. And the first day we saw the rookies practice, I saw him correcting receivers. The first day. Like, that's telling me he already knows most of the playbook.
Yeah.
Like, that's telling me he's took it upon himself.
It's impressive, man.
Yeah, it took it upon himself to say, you know what? I'm going to get so far into this playbook that I can help the people that came in with me.
Yeah.
I had a saying, and this is something I live by, and it's not something that you say you are. It's just something that, over time I've known because people have told me, but at the same time I understand it enough. But I had a saying that I always say, the humble man come out on top. And when I say humble, like when you have a guy that's a star, he's a star.
Yeah, he's a star.
You can from how he plays the game and all the recognition he's getting. But every time you interview or heard an interview from the guys that he played with, they talked about how personal he was to them. how they love being around him.
Yeah.
Already you heard, Senat, or Senate saying that, hey man, I just love being around him. I just love hearing the stuff that he's talking about.
Yeah.
So he's a humble young man. He knows that at the end of the day, I got here because of some of these guys right here.
Yeah.
These guys I'm gonna be using to get me even higher, when it comes to this profession. So I can already see the humble guy in him, and that's why he's where he's at. But that's what gets other guys to follow behind you.
Yeah, most definitely.
And you the quarterback, you're the head. So and unless you want us to, if you want us to move the way you want us to move, that's the way to do it. You get up and close and you let us know, who you are. And I've seen that already just watching them for a couple of days.
And I also think at the end of the day, when I go back to it, the Tress Way jersey thing, when he got on the podium after we had announced, of course, that he getting the number 5, he said, man, I'm just thanking Tress for letting me borrow the jersey. He didn't feel like it was owed to him.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like, hey, I'm the number 1, I'm the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
I should be able to have any number. No. He was like, man, I appreciate him. This dude went to the Pro Bowl in this jersey and did it. Yeah. I thank you for letting me borrow. He didn't say, I'm borrowing.
It's acknowledging Tress's legacy.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think to your point, Tana, like the footwork I was super impressed with the footwork. Like that was something that just jumped out immediately. And the thing about the footwork that's so important is it lets you get to everything
else.
And yes, so if I'm working my 5-step drop, I can accelerate, decelerate my feet. I can take a quick hitch, get to the check down. All that stuff was there. The ball placement. The mastery of the play. I mean, it was crazy watching that first rookie day of practice. There wasn't one ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Like guys were on the same page. They knew what they were doing. And for rookies to come in and execute that way, like usually when you watch a rookie minicamp,
it's messy.
It looks like a garbage fire.
Yeah,
a little bit.
it does.
Just because they don't know what they're doing.
And they don't know each other.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so for it to be that smooth, I thought it was really impressive. But like Tanner, you mentioned this, like Luke McCaffrey has been going out to LA, I think, to train with Jayden.
Yeah.
Like they're throwing together, like they're practicing together already, so they're learning each other. And I think again that's great leadership and great initiative by our guy Luke McCaffrey. So another thing that stuck out to me is when you're watching individuals, like I could not get over our guy Cliff Kingsbury, man.
Yeah.
Like he is
all over the place.
He is juiced up.
Yes, and I think it's because I done heard coaches say this when they start to become a head coach and they have to take care of all the kids.
Yeah.
They lose a joy that they had of coaching one position.
I heard that from a lot of people. Yeah.
And you could tell he is really enjoying not having to be the sheriff.
Yeah.
He's happy to say, I'm finna mold this quarterback and this offense to my will.
Yeah.
And I think he's enjoying, I just get to get up every day and coach.
Yeah.
I don't have to be a politician. I don't have to go to this function. I don't have to go to this function. I don't have to do any of this. I can just coach football.
Yeah. I mean, I love the energy. I love just seeing them out there. It already seemed like they kind of understand each other. And then if you think about it, man, even with being the guy that he was in Arizona, basically fathering all those guys, being the head man. Think about Kyler's success his first year, rookie of the year type success. So you can only just hope that we can get that same kind of production out of our guy, knowing that now he has Kingsbury in his office every day, all day. You know what I mean? He can pick his brain.
At his disposal.
He can come in early, stay late, just to make sure that he give him everything he got so he can go out there and be very productive.
Yeah, and it's, today was the OTA 1, I thought was also interesting to kind of see how much offense they had in.
Yeah.
Look, they had a lot of stuff in
early too, man. I ain't never remember doing OTAs this early. Man.
Yeah, well, they get an extra OTA because of new head coach.
New head coaches.
Okay. So they're a little ahead of schedule. But, there's a ton of hand signals, ton of kind of muddle huddles. They can move fast. They did some 2-minute today. What was your impression of today's practice? I mean, it was, again, sharp and fast.
I was blown away by the double 7-on-7.
Yeah.
I was really
Talk about that real quick.
All right, well, usually when we do 7-on-7, let's just say it's a 35-play, 40-play 7-on-7. The starter's going to get so many plays. The second team going to get plays, and the rest of it is divvied up with whoever else on the roster. And that's a way that usually a guy that's trying to make the roster only get, 2 or 3 plays at the most. When you separate it and you got the first team and second team over here and the first team and second team over there, now it's like 20, 25 reps for everybody.
Yeah.
Now, as a coach, I get to really watch players and get to really judge who can make this roster and not. So I think it's a great thing that they split the 7-on-7 up because now everybody get rep after rep after rep after rep after rep, and it's helping them decipher who's going to make this team.
And Fred, did you make anything in Tana too? Did you make anything of how they had kind of who was in the first defensive group, who was in the first offensive group?
I did. I think that's just the starting point. By far, this ain't gonna be the end.
Yeah, just to give some context, like Michael Davis was kind of starting the corner.
Chiseled vet, been here, done that, played in a similar defense as that. Doesn't shock me. But also Michael Davis moving St. Juice to the right corner. Yeah. I thought that kind of told me something because St. Juice is primarily a left corner.
Playing the left.
Right. Then also coming in on the second group was Emmanuel, but he's behind Michael Davis at the left corner. Right. All right, so that's telling me, all right, they got something going over there. We're going to make you earn this. We could easily give it to you, but we're going to make you earn this.
And then the nickel too, I thought also was interesting.
All right. Everybody think, hey, they drafted Mike Sanders to be the nickel. He didn't play a rep with the first team. Yeah. He was over there with the younger guy. So I think they're telling him also, with Kelly Blue and the rest of the guys, you're going to have to earn this position. We want to give it to you, but you're going to have to earn it. So I love it because right now, all coaches around the league is playing Jedi mind tricks with at least 10 players on their team.
And then you got to get a feel for, you know, where you want guys to line up, you know, in general. I think because when I watched the wide receivers, I saw Diami out there, you know, they had 3 receivers in the game. They had Terry outside, Diami outside, and they had, you know, Dotson inside. Yeah. And we was talking about, you know, McCaffrey being in the line right behind Terry. So we was like, hey, we was thinking the whole time that he was going to be he would be for sure a slot guy and had crowd, you know, Jameson going in, you know, he was in the slot full time. So it's just one of those things, getting the feel. You know what I mean? These are the guys that pretty much are veterans. We're going to run the reps that we have because I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to go out there full speed. And then while we watching, you know, you never know, things might change. But all those guys, when you have that opportunity, like I'm speaking for offensive guys, as a receiver, if I'm Terry, because I was Terry for a long time here, you're not worried about where they put you at because you can know you can make something happen. But those other guys, be mindful that hey, you here. But if you feel like you can contribute to the other positions, if it's not too much for you, know what's going on, because if somebody's down or somebody's not wanting to get in there because they're a little winded, I would jump right in and show that I have that, you know, capacity.
Did you feel like watching the first team safeties with Jeremy Chin in there?
And Quan.
No default.
Yeah. I mean,
well, he's still getting healthy, isn't he?
No, he was out there practicing.
Well, I know he's back, but I'm just saying, you know.
I just think it shows, you know, like one of the things they talked to when they came in is just how impressed they were with Quan. And I think you see that, and Quan's moving well. And I think Jeremy Chin, like his experience, his background. And again, this is so early. Yeah. But, you know, like Jordan McGee's working in with Warner and Luvu.
That's specimen, man.
Dude, he's a big dude. And he can run, man.
I'm not even just keep saying this, but, man, dude put together. I'm talking about straight up action figure. You hear me?
Oh, no.
And when you look at his numbers, it's like he's 6'3", but he's like 230.
But
he wearing that damn 58. I know that.
He looked like a 1990 wrestler.
I know he does.
He looked
big.
like the Ultimate Warrior.
I swear, I looked at his arms and I'm like, do he have some kind of wristbands making his arms poke out? No. That's just him, man.
5 arms. That's what he got.
But he can run a little bit. He's got good coverage instincts. Like that's going to be really exciting. But again, like that kind of seeing that first rotation, I think shows you kind of some stuff that they're, as a staff, going to be working through OTAs. Yeah. The offense thing was interesting. A guy that I think stood out to me, you know, I think he's going to stand out for the rest of camp, I'm sure, is Luke McCaffrey. Yeah. Like, he is excellent running routes, man.
He went and got them balls. I told you, his dad's son, man. Come on. Like, I mean, I didn't expect nothing other than, you know what I mean?
Easy Ed McCaffrey.
A quarterback that's playing receiver 9 times out of 10, they know the book. Yeah. They know how to get to the route. They know where they want to be at when the ball is, you know, I mean, you got to think about he's a quarterback. So he knows.
A lifer. Yeah. He's a football lifer.
Been doing this thing for so long.
He's been in locker rooms all his life.
And then I think those plays were great. He got a post, great job over the top, and it was a really nice.
He went to go get it.
And I was gonna say it was a really nice play because the ball was slightly overthrown. Yeah. And he does this thing which I love. Really good receivers can do it. Is they dig, they stay relaxed, and they can kind of find that extra gear,
track it,
and adjust the ball. Yeah. And he did a great job of that. But the most impressive play for me today was something that informed his character. So OZ caught the ball. Zacchaeus caught the ball underneath. Yeah. He was on the far side of the field, and literally, you would have thought this guy was running his 40-yard dash. Yeah. Sprinted all the way across the formation ripped across the safety's face to get the touchdown block. Yeah. And I just thought, there's a guy. You said, Fred. I was like, man, that guy is. Every second he's on the field is full pedal to the gas.
Once you hit the grass, we are running.
Yeah, and that shows you the character they're trying to bring into this room. You know what I mean? Bring into this team. Like, you know, they want guys that's gonna hustle. They want guys, because you think about it, when you watch those San Fran players out there, they weren't just catching the ball and getting yards. They was getting yacked because of the contributions of the other guys out there blocking downfield for them. So, you know, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it was also great to see Zach out there. Zach Ertz made a couple nice catches, made a nice catch in 2 minutes. And then
and anybody that think he was a broke down truck when we signed him, no, he looks healthy.
He looks healthy, good. And he's got that. And it's hard to explain because, you know, Zach, I don't think he ran a fast 40 at the combine. It was like a 4.78, something like that. He understands leverages, he understands angles, he understands how to double stick to break leverages, and he just does a really nice job of consistently doing that.
He uses your leg leverage against you. Once he identifies what coverage you're in, he knows the dead spot. Yeah. Like if he understands that you in man, he gonna put you in a trail position. Yeah. Like he can put you in a trail position and slow up and mess you up. Like the great tight ends don't need to run 4.40s. They don't. They need to know how to maneuver, and they need to have to manipulate coverages to what they want to do.
Just find a sweet spot. Tight ends, for all the years I played football, man, he's just been great at finding sweet spots. Cooley couldn't run to save his life, but Cooley was always open.
That's a great point.
You know what I'm saying? Always open.
I'm going to tell you who gave us hell every year. He couldn't outrun a grandmama in the mall. Jason Witten. Jason Witten stayed open. I don't think I ever seen him cover. And guess what? Jason Witten cannot run. So that what made him. That's why when he got into the end of his career, you didn't know if he was slowing down or not because he was never fast.
Fast.
No, I think and he just a guy that understood kind of the same stuff. Good in and out of his breaks, leverages, angles, stems. Awesome job. And then our guy Emmanuel Forbes had a couple nice PBUs today. With the second group, and saw some tight sticky coverage.
I saw that pick by who got a pick 57 what is it, Pittman? Pittman caught a nice ball. He caught a nice interception. Chin had a nice one. Yeah, they was flying around, man. It's great to see these guys. I mean, the energy you can out the gate, that's different. You know, you can see that. You know, that's glaring to you.
The ones or the twos running on and off the field, you can tell the difference.
And I just love, like we talked about Cliff, but like Joe Witt, like he's in there, he's standing right behind the offensive huddle, and he's like almost like speaking in tongues. He's like, hey, keep that leverage, keep that leverage. Work this thing. Hey, what is it? 2x2, 3x1?
Oh, we both had that ball. We both got that ball.
He is juiced up, man. He's got a standard that he's trying to abide by as well. And you know, McGee had this tackle on the flat. He's like, leverage tackle, inside hip. And he's like, there we go. You know what I mean? He's
caught him walking out the huddle. Oh. No, back in the huddle, back I love that. The amount of small things that make great defense.
And then you know, Jayden Daniels, obviously got to talk about him. He was in the other group of 7-on-7, like kind of farther away from where we were. But you see some of like what makes him special. And what I mean by that is like he loves throwing that deep ball. He threw one to Bryson Tremaine, who had a really solid day, had a good day at the rookie minicamp. Guy that I think is. Keep an eye on him.
Now he was the guy that showed up a little bit
he's
in the preseason.
He's a tall guy.
He's 6'4.5". He's 215, 220. He's big.
He's hard to miss too. You know why?
You got 8'9", baby. So threw a deep ball to him. Threw a deep ball to him. Threw a couple digs over the middle of the field, and then threw 2 deep balls to Dax Milne. And Dax Milne made a great catch on the sideline there. And then had a couple nice. Again, the timing of him. I've been really impressed with that. I'm talking about Jayden. Just his ability to be on time with stuff.
Just comfortability. Like he could easily came in here over anxious and overthrew a couple balls. Just no, I'm ready.
And he's gonna have a rough day at some point.
First of all, I want to see the rough day, and because I want to see the next day. Like I don't care about people. The worst thing can happen to
it's all about responding, man.
If he comes here and it's easy. Like if it seems easy, then you're not getting better, and you ain't been humbled yet.
No, absolutely. So we're going to keep watching these practices. Going to keep kind of keeping you guys updated. Right now, we're really excited. Just wanted to give you kind of some background on some stuff we noticed today, some rep kind of stuff. And again, that's going to change, but you know, it's an exciting opportunity. And again, we didn't talk about any of the offensive linemen, defensive linemen, really, because they don't. It's a passing game emphasis.
They was in the weight room. I watched them.
So they do their Indy, and then right when they get to 7-on-7,
they come up and they start the powerhouse.
Which I think is important.
Well, you know, especially for a guy that did bench press 225 one time.
That's
all you need to open the door. One time.
All right. So the next big event we got coming up is the schedule release.
And
that is we're having a show. I think we're going to preview that at some point this week. Jason, what day is that?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're doing that, okay? So make sure you tune into that. We're really excited about that. But in the meantime, we're going to preview that.
Yeah.
And we're excited to preview it.
Yeah.
And so the first question on my sheet here is there a game on this schedule that needs to be the first home game? So I'm going to read some off to you real quick. We got Philly home, Dallas home, New York Giants home, Chicago Bears home, Cleveland Browns home, Pittsburgh Steelers home, the Atlanta Falcons, that's an interesting one, Tennessee Titans, and the Carolina Panthers.
1 versus 2.
Is that what you want?
Caleb versus Jayden, and Caleb come back to D.C. That's where he from.
Yeah.
And the way Chicago treated us last year on Thursday Night Football, we owe them.
Yeah,
that would be the game to start this thing off right.
I want a
first
game
home opener
against the Wolf of Wall Street. AKA Kirk Cousins in Atlanta. They come in here, and you know this is my ex-wife team too. So you know it's tension right there. You know, when we went through a divorce, on the way out, she was like, "By the way, I've been a Falcon fan the whole time." I'm like, "No," you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's a double revenge.
Where we get this dude from, man?
Double revenge.
So you know, like I say, you got the Wolf of Wall Street, Kirk Cousins. Mm-hmm. Coming back to the team that paid him first.
Yeah.
And now this team that just paid him went and got him a stepbrother to sit right behind him. So it's a little tension boiling right there. So I just want to welcome Kirk back to FedEx Field. You know what I'm saying?
That is a
well,
good,
it is Commander Field now. It won't be FedEx Field.
Excuse me, to the command.
Good catch, Ken.
To the command field.
Yeah, Commander's Field, whatever we're calling it.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Part of me wants to see the Caleb Jayden thing, or Jayden thing, later in the season.
When both of them kind of
when they're like rolling a little bit.
Out the gate. Give it to him right now. Out the gate.
So that's the only thing. Again, I like to see it. Obviously, I'm going to watch that game.
Yeah,
but
regardless.
I want to see like where they're at, like week 8, week 9.
Yeah,
that's something
after
I want to
they
see.
took some bumps and bruises.
The Falcons one I think is really interesting, getting Kirk back in the hometown, see how the fans receive him. And then, I don't know, Pittsburgh seems interesting to me because of the quarterback situation.
I would say we hate Pittsburgh. And I would rather see Pittsburgh early because that's when the politician Russell Wilson will be starting, because I think after like week 6, it's going to be the Justin Fields show.
Why you call a man a politician, man?
Have you met Russell?
Yeah, I heard him talk too. I just want to know why he apologized.
If he is a most definitely Broncos, let's ride. It's like,
guy, look at that.
It's like one of them good dudes that you can't trust nothing he say.
I knew
like
what you were getting at. I wanted to hear what you really had to say, though, because I really wanted.
Listen, this
that
dude.
boy say he can sell water to a well.
He talk a zebra out his stripes if he sit there and chat. Listen to me. This dude. He's a good dude inside. But you know how you meet a preacher and you be like, hey, this preacher riding. I can tell a little bit.
Look at this guy.
So I'm dead serious. Like,
all right.
That dude say, Broncos, let ride.
They rolled him all the way out of there to Pittsburgh.
Lord have mercy.
The room got quiet when he said that the first time, and then they're like, crickets? Let's ride where? We never heard that before.
But you know what? The thing that bothers me about that, just knowing like how much that meant to him, he wanted that slogan to stick and mean something.
It
and like
stick.
not only stick, but have something stick the right way. Like make her have a nice season, you know what I mean? And you can be like, hey, Broncos,
we riding.
It just went the wrong way for him. So that's why I knew what you were trying to hit at. I wanted to hear your man.
His Bronco had some bad horseshoes on.
I knew you was gonna give it to me, bro. I knew.
Hey, listen, I think about week 6, Justin Fields will be the starter.
Oh, Lord. But you know what? I don't think so. I don't really think so. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I love the things I've seen from Justin. You know when he was
talk
there.
About what he did to us.
Yeah. You can see that. You can see when you kind of just allow him to, do what he do. But I just think I really would like to see, I'm just saying, me personally.
Yeah.
I want to see your boy Russell
save himself.
I want to see him save himself. I mean, I like Russell, and you could talk about the politician in him and everything. I think he's a great player. I think he's a guy that get behind the coach they got over there and how he run things. You'll see a Russ that kind of we saw over there in Seattle.
See, I
think it's about the coaching style.
I played for Mike Tomlin in Minnesota. He was our defensive coordinator. We had a top 3 defense that year. He got that job. The one thing I know about Mike Tomlin, whatever comes out of his mouth, that's how he really feels.
Yeah.
He's authentic.
Yeah.
He will bench you as a player.
Yeah.
And like he say, we don't do starters for the year. We do starters for games.
Yeah.
Meaning you can start the whole year if you on your A game. But I'm telling you, I don't think Russell does well under that type of circumstance where things are not guaranteed.
But I think just with the leadership from that coach, it's going to give him the stability.
But this coach actually won him.
You know
the last coach didn't want him.
No, it's going to insulate him too. They're going to play defense. They're going to run the ball. Like Arthur Smith, that thing's going to be.
But
Arthur like things to be done on schedule, and Russell is an off schedule
that'll be interesting. And
but he
again,
can do both.
One of the things I think
we've seen both.
Really interesting is if you were to have a quarterback run system that coincided with the run game that they had like in Atlanta. Because remember we were always talking about, what if Justin Fields goes to Arthur Smith?
Yeah, because we thought it was going to be the truth.
And part of me is like, that would be pretty sick. Having a guy that can
and now he's with him. So
and I'm sure he'll have a goal line package.
All right, so next question. Which game needs to be in prime time? So obviously I just read the home matchups. The away matchups are Baltimore, Bengals, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Arizona.
Well, I'm sure one of those NFC East games going to be big prime time. So I can see us Philly going to be a prime time.
Oh, yeah, obviously. I think so. Okay, I should have made that clear. We're not obviously.
Don't worry about the individual.
Yeah, like in the division because those are always big games.
So the next prime time game, I can see Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore the Beltway.
Dude, part of me that'd be kind of sick though to see
see both of these guys. Yeah,
and guess what? Jayden was compared to this dude.
Yeah.
To see them on the same field, but in different offenses, I think that's the whole thing being used a little bit different. I say the better of the Beltway.
Joe Burrow too. I mean, he could easily be a prime time.
Yeah, I'm saying better of the Beltway because now it's actually a battle. Like they had the quarterback advantage a long time. Still got it. I was young.
That team is so good though.
Yeah. And they got King Henry over there right now, so they got lightning and thunder.
They got a 320-pound fullback and a 250-pound running back.
Somebody gonna get hurt.
And one of the heaviest. So think about this: their right tackle and their right guard. Their right tackle weighs 390 pounds. The right guard weighs 375. Like they just have. It's just like a. That's like got to be the biggest group.
The buffet that never goes away.
That's a lot of.
What kind of football they trying to play over there? That's what I want to know.
They trying to play that.
They want to
put your line and put your hand in that dirt, and let's see the best man win. Because Ricard, man, people don't understand.
They want to trade
Patrick Ricard,
colors, man,
coming around that fullback at 300 pounds,
and he pops now.
No, and he can track DBs.
Yeah,
he get his hands on you. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
It reminds me a little bit like Mike Sellers when Mike Sellers.
Most definitely. And I want to say this to people. I talked to Big Mike Sellers, FaceTimed him, me and Rock Cartwright 2 nights ago.
Oh, good.
The big boy is doing well. He say he's feeling good. He was up. He's joking. He's walking around.
Oh, good.
Thank Lord.
Yeah.
Say 1 hour commanders. Mike Sellers is doing well.
Good job, Mike.
Most definitely.
Good job, Mike.
That's awesome. All right, yeah. So I think Baltimore's kind of one that sticks out. Mentioned Pittsburgh already, dude. The Falcons game in primetime would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Of the Wolf.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick. Yeah. And then I want to see the Caleb Williams.
I'm intrigued by it, but I'm actually afraid a little bit of the Cowboys. I mean, the Chicago team because
they're a little
I don't think a rookie quarterback has ever walked into a team ready built like this.
Yeah,
and he's super talented.
Firepower.
And they leave there with Roma Doomsday. And they already got DJ Moore. Like, this is...
Keenan Allen.
This is different than any rookie, I think. Now, C.J. Stroud had a good team, but we didn't know Tank Dell was good. I thought Tank was going to be good, but we didn't know him.
That good.
Yeah.
That good, yeah. So, again, all those would be fun to see in primetime. And then what's a sneaky good matchup that you guys are like, man, sneaky good?
I think sneaky good is the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Cincinnati Bengals, everybody forget them every time Joe get hurt. Every time Joe Burrow get hurt.
They're not good when Joe gets hurt.
Yeah, they not. But Joe gonna heal. And Joe has healed. And Joe wants, Joe.
Dude, did you see that thing? Again, this is on Instagram, so I don't know how real this is. I haven't fact-checked this. But the injury that he had might, long-term affect his ability to grip a football. Did you guys see that?
I did not see that.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I don't know. I'm not reporting anything.
Is that his...
Just throwing hand, yeah.
Throwing hand?
Yeah, I
would go get
I think a sneaky good matchup is Cleveland Browns, too. Don't forget about those guys.
That defense.
I just saw Chubb running the other day, and I mean he might not be ready for...
It's going to take Chubb longer to get back, and I'm sorry. Deshaun Watson just don't look like Deshaun Watson no more. And I think it has a lot to do with it's hard for him to focus being like the villain. Like some people excel being the villain,
but I've seen his reception in different places. He's been received well at different places. I mean,
I'm actually talking about his play because I think some players kind of like play through the energy that they feel. Yeah. And to me, he ain't happy. When I used to watch him play,
I just think it takes longer than what we expect him to come out there and just to be himself again. Like it takes more than a year. You know what I mean? Like don't get me wrong, he's been sitting out for what, two years that he played last year and then he ended up getting hurt.
Yep.
I thought last year should have been a year where he just, find a way to get on the field, stay healthy, and be out there the whole 17 weeks.
Yeah.
And then this year we would have saw something different. So hopefully, even though him having another setback, being hurt last year, I hope he can kind of like be a little bit of himself. But they playing that, so I don't want to see him being nowhere near himself.
Yeah. So that's kind of our preview to the schedule release, which comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're really excited to kind of talk about that in more detail. That's just kind of our first high level thoughts. But that leads us to our newest segment.
Yeah.
And that's, what do we call that? The mailbag? The mailman segment.
The mailman segment. The mail will be delivered.
And so we got an email from Andre, right, Jason?
Yeah, this is from Andre. I'll be Andre for you.
Because Andre wrote a long email.
Yeah, wrote a little email.
As you know, I have a hard time reading.
Yeah, he sent us an email.
He's a little tougher than you. But
ThatHawkOutside at
right.
gmail.com, right? All right, so here's what he said, guys. He said, all right. First, thank you for creating content that is easily accessible to those who are out of town and need to stay connected. I'm in the Army and active duty, so I don't get to come home very often.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
In fact, I'm heading to Korea this summer, the 4th time in 9 years. Woo! You can't get much further than 7,000 miles away from home. So to get a little slice of the district from you all every week is precious. If I could only get some chicken wings and mambo sauce on game day out here, right?
Well, tell him I will gladly send him mambo sauce. I can't send the chicken wings.
I'm pretty sure the Korean wings is good too.
We can send you the mambo sauce so you have that, Andre.
Yeah.
All right, I can do that. I got some in my house. Just got a new case of it. My kids love mambo sauce. They put it on everything.
I've never had mambo sauce. Is it spicy?
Don't you ever repeat that again.
Is it spicy?
No, it's sweet meat, spicy, meat savory. Think about ketchup that's eaten by Zeus.
It's almost like if you ever had the Thai Asian sauce.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's similar. You know what I mean? It
sounds really
has
good.
a tanginess.
I do like a little sweet sauce.
I'm gonna bring you some mambo sauce.
Oh yes.
I hope you get crushed in the comments.
No, you are.
Crush me. I don't eat a lot of junk food. I don't eat out a lot.
Well, first of all, he probably eat his mambo on some like escargot or some snails or something. That's the type dude here.
No, that's drowned in butter. There's no way
fancy.
eating that. Yeah.
I do. I put it on my little mash that I make. I've told you what I eat for dinner pretty much every night.
I know you eat like a peasant. You probably eat porridge. What you eat?
It's white rice, ground beef, a pound of ground beef, sauteed spinach, and maple syrup on there.
Yeah. Porridge.
Porridge. Right. It's pretty good though.
You like
Gets the job done.
They was eating that in 1603 in Wisconsin. What is he talking about? This dude right here. And he looked at me like, yeah, ain't that a great meal? No, it's not.
Good. You should try some. But I bet you that'd be good with some mumbo sauce.
Well, me and Tanner be at DC Pride while you eating that goulash.
That's well.
So Andre
here's a question. Here's a question.
Andre wants to know. This is the topic here because he's away. He doesn't know what's going on.
We got you, Dre.
Right? He wants to know, is there any buzz or fear from other teams in our division when it comes to the prospect of facing a dual threat QB here in Washington? I don't think the NFC East has had this problem since RG3 in 2012. What are news outlets saying?
So at this time of year, because it's so preliminary, there's not a lot of conversation.
They only worry about their team.
Yeah, a lot of their team, a lot of local media. And again, like we're very fortunate. We have access to watch practice. We just reviewed that for you, Andre. And one of the things is we can't see other people's practices. So they don't know. So all we're getting is secondhand. But we did find some quotes from some different news organizations.
But I can also say this, Dre. We know this before a down gets played this year. We got at least the third best quarterback in the division. All right? Let's be honest. All right? We know that. When our guy ain't played a snap. All right? We know we don't want Daniel Jones. We know that. Let's just be honest, Dre.
Is it be the year Daniel Jones be good?
No, he's always good against. No,
I was gonna say.
No, he's always good against us. Let's get that correct.
But the
rest of the league shows us who Daniel Jones
2 years ago, that same Daniel Jones took him to the playoffs and won a game.
And he threw for like 3,100 yards. He did nothing.
He was good enough to be.
He bamboozled them. He swindled them. You know how players can have that 1 year talent.
Wasn't that
you done seen guys on the contract.
I pray.
I done seen guys on the contract year never leave their house. Never. Oh no, I don't no more. They might contaminate. I done seen dudes change everything. Get that check.
And then
never see he again.
I was also going to say that playoff win was more of a Dexter Lawrence thing. Because didn't he have like 12 pressures that game? Like he basically
like, listen, you can't get no more regular unleaded than Daniel Jones.
And not a good quarterback.
Let's move on, man.
Okay, so Jason, we got some comments from who we got from.
I did a little bit of research to try and find something.
But basically,
there.
The point is there's not a lot.
There's not a lot.
Because nobody's willing to hate this early, but me.
Yeah, there's nothing from team accounts, kind of like what we do.
Yeah.
But there was this dude Victor Williams on the Philly pod. I assume that's a lesser pod than this one. But he tweeted out, "Don't get too comfy, Jayden Daniels," and it was the clip of Jalen Carter from the Georgia LSU game in 2022 lifting
him up. Come on,
up.
Victor Williams.
And so he's talking some trash out there. But Jayden Daniels had a quote about that. His quote was, "Hey, Jalen Carter, he's a great player. I mean, he got underneath me. I had a bum ankle, so I wasn't going to do anything here.
Yeah.
But he's a great player. So yeah."
But it's football. You take one
play and
say that, this guy has my number is like kind of not really saying
everybody gets got once.
Yeah.
Victor Williams of Philadelphia.
Football.
All right, Victor, we know something about you. Probably carrying Crisco in your pocket in case y'all win a championship so you can slide down a pole. Right? We ain't worried about all that. We ain't here to start no drama. What we're going to do is we're going to worry about Washington.
Yeah, and so again, that's not a really super informed take by Victor Williams. He's looking at a clip and he's saying, "Look at this one time," and I don't know. I think Jayden, and that's in 2022, and Jayden Daniels is a significantly better football player than he was in 22.
It also was true. He had a bum ankle. He came out before halftime of that game.
Well, he can't run from him then.
He was on pace to throw 400 yards that game, so I don't know. Jalen Carter probably didn't like that. All right, the Cowboys, right? TC Deckard from Blogging on the Boys, right? He actually was very high on Jayden Daniels. He gave a little praise. So I'm just going to read a short bit of this here. He says, "Instead of others pointing out Daniels had excellent wide receivers, they should point out that the work he's put in each and every day to become a top quarterback prospect. Unlike some quarterbacks, Daniels didn't enter the season as a surefire draft pick. He earned it. And now he's bringing that to Washington." Yes. So a little respect from the Cowboys.
And you don't usually hear that from Dallas, from the place. But I'm glad somebody's looking at it through clear eyes and clear visions. All right, I'm sorry, Dallas. We gave you the last 20 years to do what you were gonna do. Now it's our time.
No, I'm happy just from the sake of, we talked about this pre-draft, man. Just like, how is it that I'm getting better, and you putting that against me? You know what I mean? Like, last time I heard, Joe Burrow transferred and had 2 first-round draft picks as receivers. You know what I'm saying?
The top 2 receivers in the league now.
And exactly. So I'm saying to myself, like, you can't. It's not an indictment on me that I got better and I had guys that I got them better also. Yeah. I mean, they couldn't do it without me, so we did it together. You know what I mean? So I'm happy that he was able to acknowledge that, because I do believe that you can't fault Jayden Daniels for winning a Heisman.
Yep.
Can't fault him for being a Heisman player.
And what I will say is, I do think that teams do worry about dual threat quarterbacks. That's why I think the Washington Commanders, one of the reasons that they ended up drafting them, right? Because defensively, it limits what you can do.
I'm finna say it ties us down.
It exposes all the cracks. So I think even though they might not be expressing concern, I know if I was the DC for Dallas, if I was the DC for Philly, I'm like, dang, like now this has become a little bit more complicated in terms of how they're prepping. And also, we got to see how Cliff's going to use them. But those legs, man.
Those legs make us have to play what we call honest.
Got to play honest football. Exactly.
We can't cheat. I can't cheat you on certain blitzes. I can't cheat you and play 2-man under. I can't cheat you. We can only play defenses that all 11 of us looking at the quarterback. So now, guess what? It shrinks your playbook. And this ain't going to happen one week.
Yeah.
Now, it might be a coordinator like, I'm just going to run what I run. And time them DBs turn his back, number 5 going to be running right beside him. They ain't going to even know it. So it shrinks the playbook. I must say that.
And I think, it's cool that he made the reference to Robert in 2012, because Tanner, you and I were both here, obviously. And I remember playing each week, and we would see 8-man box, cover 3. every single week.
Every week.
That's what we saw.
Yep.
And we were getting off on the outside.
Because guess what? Y'all don't have to play the whole playbook.
Yeah.
Like whatever was open last week, gonna be open this week.
You lining up guys out there, and me and Pierre and them boys, we looking at each other like, boy, we eating. You hear me?
Yeah.
Throw it up.
And the DB over there like, man, I'm so tired of playing cover 3. I don't know what to do. But he understands we can only play cover 3 or cover 4 to stop them today.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, and I think the other thing I'd point to is that, like, I think Robert was really good in 2012, right? I think he won Rookie of the Year.
Bobby 3
right?
sticks.
Yeah.
But I think, and this is just, I went back and watched some Robert Griffin the third tape because everyone was making the comp. And I will say Jayden Daniels at this point in his career
better passer.
is a much better passer.
Yep.
And I think that's that raises the floor of the offense, couple that with the simplification of defenses. I think there's a lot of things that people in the division need to be concerned about because I think he's going to be a heck of a ball player. And again, we've only seen 2 practices, but he's already kind of checking some of those boxes, which is pretty cool. So I think that's going to do it for today's show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure you like and subscribe wherever you're going to get your podcast. And that's it.
ThatHawkOut at gmail.com.
Yeah, check it out.